Hey, it's Chris here with REI 360 show, lucky number 13, episode number 13. Jason with me as always. Cool topic today and one of our favorite ones. A lot of people who follow our stuff and watch us know that we are marketing junkies, aren't we, Julie?
Yes.
Absolutely. We're marketing junkies. We always have been, really, since we got into business, because we recognize right away that it's the lifeblood of any business. The leads that you have coming in turn into the closed deals, turn into the dollars. So we've always been very, very focused on that top end and growing with the marketing world, especially online, as it's been developing into this and that. A couple different sides to it. We're going to dive into it, but we want to, start high at the top of the marketing world, why it's so important, and then kind of drill down into some, block and tackle basic to-do stuff. You want to jump on?
That's right. So obviously, you don't have clients unless you market for them. You don't have customers unless you're marketing for them. So I think a trap that most businesses fall into is to be like, okay, I need more clients. I'm going to market. Then it's like, oh, cool, I got a lot of business and I'm content, and I've got people coming in the door, people coming to my website, people selling products to, and then all of a sudden they forget to do the marketing side of things again. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, I'm out of business, now what? Market.
You get that roller coaster effect.
And it's, and I mean, we kind of call it the marketing ladder. So you got to just continue to market no matter what, no matter how busy your business is at any given time, you got to continue to do that marketing side of things, because there will be a point, and we've all been through that, where times are a little bit slow and you lose a customer or it's just a little bit slow right now. And what saves you is because you're doing that constant marketing.
It's funny you said that, and I hadn't thought about this when I was prepping and brainstorming for the show, but I remember a guy that we used to work with around the time we started HMB. We started doing a bunch of online and offline stuff, and he was like, yeah, it's a great idea, let's do a big marketing push, and we'll get the word out there and everything else until like October, and then we'll be good. And I was like, wait.
And then what? So then we do business through October, and then what happens in November?
Yeah, it's like, just because the word is out there, like, how people's attention span go, like you constantly have to be in front of your audience in order to make this thing go. It's a never-ending machine.
And after you have a mature business, most businesses, they kind of self-generate leads, through referrals coming in or that same client coming in over and over and over. But, eventually, that disappears. And especially if you're looking to grow, you got to be marketing at all times. So it's important to make sure on a daily basis that there is some sort of marketing activity going on. And that kind of could lead us into this related to online, offline marketing, as well as active marketing and automation or outsourcing.
Mm-hmm. We'll get into the breakdown of that stuff. But one thing that we try to keep in mind day to day is we all have transactional stuff to do.
Sure.
You have to close deals. That's part of really any business. But it's not the entire job. There's also the building of the business. That's the marketing stuff. So every day you have to focus on your transactional stuff, knock that shit out of the way, and then focus on your build. Okay.
And also related to that, any business that you're in, you're a marketer. You got to remember that. You're a marketer, even if you don't want to be a marketer. That's just what you are, and you got to think of yourself that way. And you don't need a marketing department. And even if you have a marketing department that handles this, someone's got to just be doing the marketing side of things. And even if you're 101 and you're creating a business today, well, how are you going to get a client in your door? How are you going to get a customer to knock on your door, walk into your store, get to your website? There's got to be some sort of marketing that occurs to do that.
Yeah, that is a big realization that people who are smart arrive at, and some people don't. Like, you think you're in the real estate business, you think you're a lawyer, you think you're a restaurant, whatever, but you're all in the business of marketing.
And it took us a while to realize that.
Yeah, you don't realize that is your most important job.
Exactly. Like, it's and soon as you kind of get that part, and as soon as you start putting that as a daily habit, as a daily activity, it's a good thing to stick with.
Well, and it's the fun stuff, if you ask me.
Sure.
The transactional stuff, it gets dull over time, but the marketing's always new and exciting and building. Like, that's really what gets me going.
That's right.
So let's talk about this little breakdown, because the whole world of, hopefully you can see that, hopefully you can read that stuff on there. We have online, offline, active, and automated. Can you guys not do that? That'd be great. So the world of marketing is a big thing, and to try to tackle the whole thing at once, or even to wrap your brain around the whole world, there's too much going on. So I wanted to chunk it down a little bit so that people can be clear what's out there and what might work best for them. They could be a one-man show or maybe a 100-person company, and the same stuff applies. So of course, we have online and offline across the top there. in pretty much any business, I think you should be doing both. We have covered that before. We definitely do online and offline stuff.
Any business, and whatever business you're in, do the reverse. If you're in the online world, start doing offline marketing because it's really effective and it's something you never think about. And for all of you that have offline businesses, definitely be doing online marketing because it's cheaper, it's scalable, and most people that have offline business aren't online.
For sure. And also, we have active and automated. Pretty self-explanatory, but I'll run through that really quickly. Active is something that you personally are doing, whether you're in the real estate business or whatever, like the top person in the company or someone in your team is actively doing. So an example of an active offline marketing thing would be speaking at an engagement, going to a meetup group, anything like that, hanging out, having dinner with one of your top clients, anything like that. You're actually doing
direct mail, creating a direct mail piece, marketing campaign,
creating it. But
well, if you're a one-man operation, mailing it too.
Okay. We're talking about, for the most part, we would think of something like direct mail as an automated version of an offline campaign.
Could be.
Yeah, you set it up the first time, and then it's supposed to run.
Agreed.
Like that's the idea. You want to have both active.
Related to that in a second, but yeah.
Yeah, you want to have both active and automated.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Moving over to the online side of things, active and automated, same thing. You could be proactively reaching out to people you might want to connect with. Twitter's really good for that. Obviously, you can find people's information on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's definitely a good one for that. And have that interaction that you're actually doing yourself, instead of the shotgun approach where you're just spraying something everywhere. That's like a rifle, like a sniper rifle, where you're going after something very, very specific. That's an example of active online. And automated online is, arguably the most powerful one in our experience anyway. That would be something like through your web presence or social presence, people are finding you and your site and opting in to some kind of form and receiving follow-up messages. That's all happening automated. It's like magic. It's awesome, and it's been a huge, huge win for us over the years in different kinds of campaigns.
Sure.
So we think that based on you and your skills and your team and everything you like, you should pick out, it's hard to do everything under the sun when it comes to marketing, but you should pick out what works for you and your skill set, where your audience is, and the best way to get at them.
Yeah, let me break this down with an example because a lot of people just don't know where to get started with this. So, for instance, and we're really big advocates for doing stuff first, getting a campaign set up, getting a marketing campaign set up, and then automating it. And by automating it either means you're outsourcing it to an employee or someone else outsourced in your, part of your organization, or automating it meaning there's software technology that automates it for you. And this is mostly online, but some offline as well. So like for example, a big marketing push could be pay-per-click marketing, right? That's some sort of thing. Now you can either, if you're a big organization and you want to delegate someone to start that right now, sure, go for it. But most small businesses, they learn it themselves, so then they train somebody else to do it. So you learn it yourself, you do it yourself, you master it yourself, and then you coach either an outsourced person to do it, or if it really is a plug-and-play setup, you just automate it and it runs itself. Offline, and the reason I brought up a direct mail related to, Chris looked at it as automated, I looked at it as a little bit active. It's kind of both, because a direct mail campaign, it's okay, well, let's figure out and let's get this whole thing set up first. Let me do it, let me understand it, and then again, I can coach somebody else in the office.
True.
You shouldn't be.
The setup of the campaign is always active, yeah.
So pretty much all marketing that we do is pretty much in our world automated for the most part, except higher level speaking engagements and content pieces and higher level stuff. But that being said, we had our hands involved in all of it at one point until we were able to take it from that the active phase to the automated phase. And I think that's important to understand either I don't know how to do this, okay, well, you can find somebody that can do this, or why should I automate this when I can do that? And it's obviously, as you grow as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you continue to work on the highest level activities. Day one, the highest level activity may be to lick a stamp, and you have to do it because it's marketing, and you have to do it.
We've all been there.
And then after that gets set up, and you move on to the next level of like, forget it, I'm not licking a stamp now. I'm going to do PPC or pay-per-click or doing some sort of internet marketing. Figure out that mailing campaign and get somebody else to do that.
Yeah.
And then you just work it up that way. And then the highest level is, which is typically stuff you can't replicate, which you can't really have anybody else do in your office, would be, speaking engagements,
Right.
getting on the TV, getting on the radio, which is like pretty much the highest level. Getting on video is pretty much the highest level marketing.
And some of those interpersonal relationships with important people in your industry, like that's always top level activity. How are we doing on time, by the way, guys?
Way over.
Okay.
Always way over on time.
So,
That means you're doing good.
maybe. If you are curious to hear our opinion on 1 or 2 or 3 marketing strategies you should focus on in your business, please comment, whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube or listening to it on iTunes. Leave some kind of comment, whatever you can. We'll be looking for those. We'll be checking them out.
And reviews on iTunes.
Reviews on
we really
iTunes
appreciate it. We want to see how we're doing. Want to continue to either maybe even do more of these shows on a regular basis.
Yep. And remember to use the hashtag the REI360 show. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks.